exhibition game, we're honored to be joined by talented performers and 8 leaders from Indigenous nations and communities from across northern Alberta. At this time, we would ask you to join us as we welcome to the ice an educator representing the Inuit peoples, Elder Edna Elias. Former Grand Chief of Treaty 6 and current Chief of Frog Lake First Nation, Chief Greg Deschamps. President of the Métis Settlement General Council, Dave Lamouche.
For the Edmonton Oilers, a continuation.
Today at New Jersey at Edmonton. Pay the move to skip off, skip forward 15 seconds. Lock, skip 4 pause. Skip backwards, skip speed off.
For the Edmonton Oilers, a continuation of an 8-game homestand, a season long. In fact, their longest since 1982. For the New Jersey Devils, the second of a back-to-back after a hard-fought 2-1 overtime win in Calgary last night. The Devils enter 5 points out of a playoff spot. That's a familiar foe. Tristan Jarry has had 18 career decisions against the Devils. He's 8-8-2, and after 39 days as an Oiler, it's his first start at home. At the other end, Jake Allen. Jacob Markstrom, you knew he wasn't going to play against Edmonton, having lost 9 in a row against the Oilers. But that man has beaten Edmonton 4 straight times and played to a save percentage of better than 94 while doing it. Curtis Lazar, a former Devil. He plays his 600th game tonight, has assists in back-to-back games. His first 2 assists of the year. He'll take the face-off against Cody Glass, and we're underway at Rogers Place. New Jersey beat Edmonton back in October 5-3. That was part of an 8-1 start for the Devils. They have tumbled in the standings since. They're actually next to last in the league since that 8-1 start. Glass ducking inside. Found on a one-timer and now engages with Lazar. Good first shift for the Devils. Lazar starting alongside Mangiapane and Janmark. Nurse and Emerson defensively. Your starting lineup brought to you by Bet99.net. And Louis, what's happened in New Jersey? We didn't see them as a team that would struggle to score goals, but that's exactly what's happened.
Well, you know, injuries for sure. Jack Hughes goes down with an injury, and that's a big guy out of your lineup, and they didn't really defend greatly when he was out of the lineup. Since he's come back, it hasn't been a whole lot better, and it's just about trying to find that mix, but sometimes that happens. Luke Hughes also out of the lineup tonight, hurt last night in Calgary, so they continue to pile up, and for this New Jersey Devils team, a team that everybody kind of expected to explode and really keep growing, has found some adversity in their game, and they're trying to figure it out.
Well, I remember you and I from about 300 feet above the ice in New Jersey when we called that game. We left the arena.
Looked all world.
Yes, we left the arena thinking this could be a tough team to deal with this year. He's here on the hunt for a loose puck. It's fended off by Jarry and played ahead for Jack Roslovic.
And as you know well, and people know, that the East is really tight. Now they're in a real tough spot. They're down the ranks and they're trying to claw and climb up that ladder. It can be done. It's available, it's there, and there's a lot of teams fighting for those positions. There's no reason why the New Jersey Devils can't be one of them, but they're going to have to find a way, number one, to score more goals. It's been tough to put the puck in the net this year for them.
And it started in the second half of last year. And to your point, Jack Hughes was injured during that time as well. Hughes ahead looking for Jesper Bratt, who always seems to bring his top game against Edmonton. A drive by Siegenthaler, and that was blocked. Bratt, 9 goals, 18 points in his 13 career games against the Oilers, and Hughes scored twice and had an assist in that aforementioned 5-3 Devils victory back on October the 18th. Here's Vasily Podkolzin trying to cut inside. Stripped by Hughes and forced back through center. Now you've got McDavid. Almost got through Nemitz, who scored the overtime winner last night in Calgary, and a pass funneled down low to the red-hot Zach Hyman. Couldn't connect that time, and Hughes the other way. This is well offside as Meyer steaming down the middle. We played 2 minutes, no score. Edmonton and New Jersey.
Well, you know, you're seeing the fast play of the New Jersey Devils. Here's McDavid as he picks up this puck, and Nemec does a nice job to be right there and meet him. I mean, that could have been a big collision as he just avoids him at the last second. Puck punches through, but is picked up inside the zone. New Jersey plays a fast game. Pace in your grill, all over the ice to try and take your time and space away. Edmonton's going to have to deal with that. They didn't deal greatly with it back in October, one of the first few games of the season that they played against the Devils in the first matchup. They'll have to be better in this one tonight.
Ritsu over the line, whipped it in a weird hop off the stanchion. I think that got a piece of Jari's right pad off that deflection. Nemec stepping up, thrusting down low. Devils got a bit of a break in overtime last night. A friendly bounce off a referee's skate, and Jack Hughes put it right on Nemec's tape. Here's Isaac Howard losing the handle as he crossed the blue line. And Lenny Jimenez, his second NHL game. Played 12.5 minutes last night in his debut. Driven off the puck by Nurse on a clear by Nugent Hopkins, who scored his first goal in 12 games the other night on game number 1,000. Edmonton coming off back-to-back bagels. 6-0 over Vancouver on Saturday and 5-0 shellacking of the Blues on Sunday. Here's Mangiapane. Scored a goal against St. Louis. Down low, Stastny. Dougie Hamilton takes over for New Jersey. Tried to scoop it out, didn't get it done. Mangiapane to the net, and a quick save made in tight. Jake Allen robbing Curtis Lazar. Connor Brown brushing it back. He took a big pop right in front of the Edmonton bench. Brown, of course, part of that back-to-back Cup final runs for the Edmonton Oilers. Really found his game last year, and it's continued this year. Sheldon Keefe offered high praise for what Brown has brought to the table this year.
Very well liked in Edmonton, too, but not a friendly welcome back as he got sandwiched there right in front of me.
Pesce sent it in deep. Edmonton wanted an icing call. Ekholm up the boards, cut off by Pesce. He missed that earlier game in New Jersey. The Devils also have been banged up on the back end. Kovacevic missed the first 3 months of the year with knee surgery. They're still working him back in. It's only his 4th game back tonight. That's an icing call against Edmonton. 4 minutes plus gone in the first.
Here's that hit I was talking about. Lazar in his 600th game. Congratulations to him. He's grinding his way to 600. Great chance in front as he finishes a check, gets himself back to the net, and there's the Brown sandwich. Mangiapane and Lazar say, welcome back to Rogers Place. Couple Stanley Cup final runs. Connor Brown, very well-liked teammate of the Edmonton Oilers players, but now it's all business as he's on the other side. Scored in the first matchup between these two teams earlier in the year.
Signed a 4-year deal with New Jersey in the offseason. A lead pass bump by Hischier, the Devils captain, back towards center. And last night was more of the same for the Devils. They did get the win, but they largely controlled the game. Hischier was stopped on a breakaway, and the Devils just couldn't find that goal until the extra session. Sheldon Keefe, his club has won 3 of 4. They've still got a fighting chance. 5 points out. Nugent Hopkins and Hischier to the right of Jake Allen. Clean face-off with quick shot. Twisted wide by Roslovic with the injury to Kapanen. He'll be elevated up and play with Nugent Hopkins and Frederick on a second line. And the Devils off a turnover. Here's Andre Palat. He's had a quiet year offensively. Whistled one rink rod. Shot from distance. Kovacevic stays out. Rebound Nugent Hopkins on him. Big hit on Palat. Hard hit delivered by Emberson. Now Brendan Dillon. Looking down low. Ritsu bumped off the puck. Nugent Hopkins twirls it back to Emberson, who scampers to the Devils' blue line and then missed Nugent Hopkins. Lead pass Cody Glass and sent in deep.
Couple physical hits by Ty Emberson, who's really throwing his weight around and elevating up in the second pair with Darnell Nurse, Jack, and just starting to really find his game. Chris Knobloch talked about him this morning and just how he's, getting a little bit more minutes, and he's really excelled with it. Alec Regula injected back in the lineup. He's missed the last 4 as a healthy scratch, but for Emberson comes right over to finish the check along the wall.
A couple of checks on that last shift. Jimenez absorbed that one. You mentioned Regula back in. The Kapanen injury doesn't sound like long-term. In fact, he might be back as soon as Saturday. Oilers also expect Leon Draisaitl back in the lineup later this week. So for the short term, just going 11 forwards and 7 defensemen tonight, with Kapanen unavailable and Draisaitl unavailable for a third straight game. There's Lazar lifting, and that one sailed right toward my partner. In fact, he's got the puck.
Connor.
This period brought to you by James H. Brown Accident Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters in injury law.
Is this your first puck of the year, partner?
Hey, I got that one. Usually it doesn't get to me, but I give it to him back. I said, thank you very much. I saw that one coming, thankfully. I've been watching. That one was right by my ear, though. Made a little mark on the glass.
Paul Cotter beaten off the draw by Frederick. Did Ingram not understand that was part of his responsibility over there? You got to lay it out for him. Here's Nemeth.
Okay, where's Picks?
Driving back in. Jari, that one crawled outside the trapezoid, so he had to leave it alone, squirted out into the slot. Nemeth tried to keep it alive, has to move over. Popped off his stick, and eventually an offside whistled against Edmonton with 6 and change gone by in the first period. Each team just
Pause.
one
Skip
shot
forward
on
50.
net. A look at Edmonton, home of the Oilers, locked in a scoreless tie.
Warning Louis and Jack about understanding that it would be difficult for him to re-sign in Edmonton with contracts to Leon and developing money for Evan Bouchard, but he said no hard feelings. He loved it when he was in Edmonton Oil.
Louis, when he scored that first goal, I think it was against Washington, after going, the first 55, 60 games without one. That's one of the loudest regular season ovations I can remember in this building.
I agree.
It's like top 3.
The work ethic, right? You know, he just brought it every single night. And the puck didn't always go in for Connor Brown, but the one thing he did do the 2 years that he was an Edmonton Oiler, he played his best when it mattered the most. And that's what people remember. I mean, when it was on the line, he was a big-time player. He stepped up, and it was good to see him get healthy again and score that goal you're talking about. Knee surgery takes a long time to come back from the kind that he had playing with the Washington Capitals. So that was a huge goal for him to start back to his career.
Jack Hughes eluding a check from Vasily Podkolzin. A tepid start to this one. We played more than 7 minutes, just the 2 shots on net. Hughes trying to change that to Jesper Bratt. Snapped across. Quick shot by Timo Meier, deflected up over top of Tristan Jarry, making his 300th career NHL start tonight. Dougie Hamilton fires from distance. That was deflected up in the air. Much ado, and Hamilton was scratched the other day, but he's settled in, and Sheldon Keefe said he's played really well since coming back into the lineup. Jesper Bratt forechecking, creating for Hughes against McDavid. Dillon across, Hamilton a shot, and that's deflected up off the plexi, taken by Emberson. The game in Jersey, Louis, there was no question. The best player on the ice that night was Jack Hughes.
Yeah, and he set this one in motion, too, with a little outlet pass, and then Bratt and Meier went on a little rush up the ice, and Meier's shot deflected off a shin pad and didn't miss by much, but he got it away quickly. Hemmed in. Edmonton still trying to get themselves out of this zone and get a change.
It's been a minute
plus.
plus.
Levels have changed on the fly. Partially.
Hughes is still out there, of course. Jimenez protecting that puck on the end boards. This has been a minute 15 at this juncture, and finally the Oilers look to bust out. Hyman took it off the back skate. He reverses, and then finally Emberson wheels it up to Isaac Howard. So nearly a minute and a half after, as Louis talked about, Jack Hughes first put it in. With the pass to Jesper Bratt. Now Jonathan Kovacevic drills one up the left-hand side. That's through everyone, and they're going to negate icing, and that fooled Jake Wallman. Chance for the Devils in front. Flipped over the net by Cody Glass.
That wasn't icing. I have no idea why that wasn't icing.
And Wallman is still barking about it. Meanwhile, Roslovic is able to collect the puck, scoot away from traffic, and carry it himself through the neutral zone. Tried to go coast to coast. Allen will steer that up the right-hand side to Donoff ahead. And now a bouncing puck corralled by Connor Brown. Back to Dodano, who's missed all but 10 games this year with hand and wrist injuries, 2 separate maladies. Shot by Siegenthaler redirected. Dodano, who scored 20 goals for a 5th time last year. And then, Louis, you and I saw him scratched in the conference final. Paul Cotter shoots it in.
Edmonton needs a shift here, Jack. They need a shift to kind of bring this back in their favor because the Devils are wheeling right now, playing the 3-quarter game.
Mangiapane up through center, bumped by Siegenthaler. Heischier will send it across to Brett Pesce. Big hit by Mangiapane. His second of the game. Remember, he partially clipped Connor Brown. Heischier forced that loose. On it is Dawson Mercer. Took a check from Darnell Nurse, laid it behind the net. Brendan Dillon pinching hard, nearly got caught. And now Nurse will direct traffic for the Oilers. More than 10 minutes into this one. Alec Regula back in the lineup. He had not played since the win in Chicago, the front end of that dad's trip. Now McDavid, the stretch pass picked off by Timo Meier. Jesper Bratt in from the right-hand side. The 9th time the Oilers are trying to win 3 in a row for the first time this year. 9 times. If you don't know the movie reference, I'm sorry for your luck. Here's Podkolzin, Bouchard, and that sailed into the Devils bench with 9:08 to go in our scoreless first period. Dawson Mercer feels the sting of Mangiapane. Oilers and Devs, no score.
You'll try anything for nighttime cold and flu relief. Or at least your partner will. Hallelujah. Get fast multi-symptom relief with new...
Edmonton Oilers have gone all the way down the other way, so just a little conversation.
Oilers are looking for some semblance of zone time, Louis. Have they been in the zone for longer than 10 seconds?
Yeah, that's right now when you're playing against a team that's struggling to find offense, make them play defense more than they want to. And right now, I'll credit the Devils, and this is how they play. They play a fast game. They have been jumping into the offensive zone.
Again, the second of a back-to-back for Jersey. They're 3-5 this year. And only 9 wins in 36 tries over the last 3 seasons.
Now, in saying that, Jack, only 2 shots on net for the Devils. So, although Edmonton spent time in their zone, it's been to the perimeter. Done a nice job to defend.
Glass, beautiful look. Kick save made by Jari on Brett Pesce. And up until then...
right on cue.
Yes, what you were saying, though, Louis, reflective of what Sheldon Keefe has talked about. They're not generating enough. Here's Dodano, certainly generated a good chance there, circling and trying to wrap it around off the pads of Jari. Taken by Paul Cotter, and the former Golden Knight whistled one off the side of the net. Jets are quicker on...
What date is today?
Today is Tuesday, January 20th.
Looks up ice. And Janmark with him. We'll see some different combinations, because remember, the Oilers only have the 11 forwards tonight. Dodonov up the left-hand side for Cotter. Connor Brown from center. They'll send one in deep. Spencer Stastny, a little change of pace to create some space against Brown. And up the left-hand side, Kovacevic defending Frederick. Nugent Hopkins. Devils come away with it. Lead pass out of the reach of Mercer. And into the grasp of Jake Wollman, who flicks it across for Stastny. Nearly 13 minutes gone in this hockey game, and we've got 4 shots on net, although that was almost a 5th. Wallman put that a little closer to his goal than he'd like.
Seeing some chipping and charging here by Edmonton. I think it's got to be the game plan. Have to start spending more time in this end.
Hyman to Ekholm, a blast, a save by Allen, who came way out. Ekholm across to Bouchard. Wrist shot into crowd that went off. Allen trickled just wide. Hyman back on the puck. And this has been Edmonton's best shift of the game by far. Siegenthaler engaged with McDavid. Time for the league lead in scoring coming in. Ekholm a shot. And a glove save again. Allen up near the top of the blue paint.
Ask your doctor for Wegovy by name. Visit wegovy.ca for savings. Some exclusions may apply.
We talked about in the open when the opposition has gotten grade A chances. This is a nice pass right under the tape. But Pesciu activates behind everyone and gets a real good look. It's taken away from Tristan Jarry. An excellent save. His best of the game so far. Chip and charge by Hyman. Finishes the body. Podkolzin secondary in there to create a turnover. And this loose puck, one chance, then another. And there was a third one that went through everyone. And finally gloved down by Jake Allen. He said, enough of that, get a whistle. By far, as you mentioned, the best shift so far at finding some traction in the offensive zone for Edmonton.
Both teams 25 wins on the year. Devils 25, 22, and 2. They've been excellent in extra time. Last night, their 9th win in 11 games that have gone beyond regulation. Edmonton at 25, 17, and 8 can earn a share of first place with a win tonight as Vegas is idle. Ekholm up the left-hand side for McDavid. Lead pass eventually swung in deep by Bouchard. Golden Knights just had a long winning streak snapped. Hyman in the corner against Brad. Emberson. No lane there with Brad in his grill. He'll return to Hyman. McDavid with Nugent Hopkins lurking in the slot. Again, those 11 forwards will see some combos, and here's an offside whistle against Hyman, who was vacating the zone just as McDavid received the pass in full flight. Oilers are starting to find some traction. Jake Allen tested for the first couple of times tonight.
DIY inspiration.
They've got, puck drop time, who's going to be interviewed, and happy 600 lasers. So many of his teammates didn't know that was the case for him tonight. He did joke, I think he joked, that it was the biggest milestone game of the week, and he was looking forward to his shirt. We wait to see what that may or may not look like.
17, 12 years. Curtis Lazar, no stranger to the Edmonton community, of course. Having with Tristan Jarry, of course, won a Memorial Cup. Lead pass up the right-hand side.
17th overall pick, too, Jack. And there's a lot of expectation that comes with being a first-round draft choice, but he found a different way to grind out 600 games, and that is the defensive side of the game. He was always looked at as a 200-foot player. And listen, he's provided offense throughout his career as well, but he's known for a great face-off man, a heavy checker. We've seen a couple big bodies already thrown by him. And for Chris Knobloch, he says it's the simple things that he does that allows him to stay in the lineup and be a valuable piece of the puzzle. So good for him, once again, to, as Gene said, claw and scratch himself into this lineup and stick around.
And a lot of first-round picks are like that. I mean, I think of Trevor Lewis. He did, he was a guy that was expected to score, but that's not what kept him in the league, and that's not what kept him, of course, in the lineup for those terrific LA teams.
Won a couple cups because of it.
Here's Isaac Howard, a shot redirected wide by Dougie Hamilton, then tried to go short side, and Brendan Dillon, another veteran, right now has played the most games of any active player who wasn't drafted by an NHL team.
1,000th game on December 1st against the Columbus Blue Jackets. Nugent Hopkins scored a goal in his 1,000th. Brendan Dillon fought in his. I love it. There's an undrafted player playing 1,000 games. You heard Craig McTavish talk about it. That's not an easy road. Congratulations to him.
But Colson a little give and go with Evan Bouchard. Now Bouchard blast, and that was tipped just wide by Roslovic. A sneaky little tip, and that slithered just wide of the mark. Siegenthaler. He'll launch one down the middle off of Hyman's glove. Reset for the Oilers, looking to avoid being swept by the New Jersey Devils for the second year in a row. This has not been an easy matchup for Edmonton, and I think the pace that Louis talks about is part of that. McDavid up top for Bouchard. Bouchard down low to Ekholm, driving the net, chipped in front, but Jake Allen was ready and lays it to rest.
As the official medical imaging provider to the Edmonton Oilers, MIC ensures precision in every shot. Go to where the pros go. MIC Medical Imaging.
Edmonton starting to find some chances. Here's a nice block by Dougie Hamilton. Gets a piece of this Howard shot with the stick. Makes himself large, and then This blast right here by Bouchard, tipped by Roslovic, just by Jake Allen. And this one here, a little feed by Ekholm, who pinched down, trying to put it through to Hyman. Glove down by Allen again, and Brett Pesce gives him a couple taps and says thank you, because he was down on his knees trying to take the pass away.
Bouchard off the draw. McDavid spins on Kovacevic, and then his cross-seamer deflected off Brad's skate. McDavid has had at least a point in all 17 games he's played against the New Jersey Devils. Good read by Brad. Hughes couldn't do anything with it. McDavid was able to get through Brad, and now attack. He got pumped by Kovacevic, and now we're going to have a fight. Kovacevic answering the bell to Podkolzin, who misses with an overhand right, came back with a left hook, and now the linesman will separate the two, but Vasily Podkolzin wasted no time going after Kovacevic. He did not like that shot on McDavid.
And it wasn't a huge hit, but he certainly stepped up and tried to lay the boom on McDavid. Got a big piece of him, not easy to do. Instant reaction by Podkolzin to shed the mitts. Both of them did. Kovacevic is a big kid, not afraid to step up, and for McDavid right here, he's almost had a couple of collisions as the Devils have stepped up, and for Kovacevic, he just kind of gets the forearm up high a little bit, and Podkolzin right away, both of them drop the gloves at the same time. We'll see if there's an instigator here. Pretty high hit.
I'm not sure. As you said, he dropped him at the same time.
Edmonton number 92 has 2 minutes for instigating, 5 minutes for fighting, and a 10-minute misconduct.
Louis, help explain to everyone why that's an instigator when the gloves come off at the same time.
That's the league, my friend.
Sorry, I thought you were going to go a little longer than that, but that's okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they both shed the gloves at the same time. He knew it was coming. They both knew it was coming. So you tell me whose gloves hit the ice first and who instigated the fight.
Yeah,
listen,
I have to say,
Podkolzin was the one that was the aggressor in the sense that he was going after Kovacevic. He came right at him. Kovacevic knew it was coming. I don't like it when there's an instigator when both guys drop the gloves at the same time. I don't think that's what the rule is for.
It's one thing to be jumped, right?
Yeah,
he didn't get jumped.
There's no jumping going on there. Did he give him a choice? You could argue that. I think, you know, for me, Kovacevic, who just back into the lineup, has missed some time trying to make himself noticed and felt.
Yeah, there's no
totally
choice
fine with that. He's like, hey, I'm going to drop the gloves, no problem. Like it by Podkolzin, also like it by Kovacevic. Good hit to step up. Jersey gets the first power play.
Safe to say this is one you want to kill. Devils, 20% on the power play this year. Hughes across. Brad looking to feed Hamilton. Good read by Janmark, who's out there with Savoy. Challenging up top, and Janmark, another fine play. Inadvertently forked it into the Oiler bench, so the faceoff will remain in the Edmonton zone.
And Vasily Podkolzin is going to be missed for the next 17 minutes because it's a 2, 5, and 10-minute misconduct. So that's
10 forwards.
That's the repercussions from it, right? For me, that's kind of, you know, to dish that out to a player for 17 minutes, it's got to be warranted, in my opinion. But obviously they had a little discussion, felt it was. And like I said, that's the game.
McDavid, Nugent-Hopkins, Ekholm, and Bouchard. Jari squared up. McDavid wins the face-off. Bouchard half fanned on that wrap around the board. So Ishier back to Jack Hughes. Slide step to the left. Cutting behind. Bouchard there to take the puck off of him. Edmonton penalty kill has been the best in the league over the last 13 games. Better than 90%. Hamilton. Hughes. Sit down low. Boston Mercer actually leads the Devils this year with 6 power play goals. He's not on this top unit, and now McDavid comes the other way. With Ekholm, McDavid short-handed, trying to slide it across to Nugent-Hopkins, and that was broken up. McDavid's still out there. Nugent-Hopkins double-teamed in the corner. McDavid comes away with possession, and then when he tried to center, he fell down. Brad picked it off, and here come the Devils. Connor Brown to Hischier. Dishes off, and then Hughes one extra pass. Back to Nemitz. Boy, the Devils did not get anything out of that. One touch to Nemitz. Mercer. Hughes still with the puck. Final minute, opening period, final seconds of this Devils power play. Mercer to Heeshear. Nemitz shot, tipped, save on Mercer by Jarry, and the rebound ends up in the corner.
That's a good save, short side. Mercer so good at getting himself into that position and having the stick down the ice, and he redirects this one right back into Jarry. McDavid with a little awkward tumble into the boards after that chance they had, as you see him pick this up and he goes to spin and just blows a wheel. Down he goes. He had a run-in with Nemitz. He had the collision. Kovacevic. And right there, a little tumble. But here's the tip I'm talking about. So good at getting there. I thought Jarry got a piece of it. He just chipped that one a little high. Good hands and tight.
Frederick laid one off the glass. For the Devils, though, Louis, I mean, I thought they passed on some good opportunities there to shoot the puck. Palat to Pesce, swung off his stick. Devils able to hold the zone. Here's a chance. Meyer shot, can't save. Jarry, rebound, picked up by Andre Palat. Been a frustrating year for him offensively. And he runs into a double team from Hyman. Siegenthaler falling back. And this game appears destined to be 0-0 after 20. Pesce will freeze it, and that's all for the opening 20 minutes. Each team with 4 shots on net. And the New Jersey Devils looking for their 4th win in 5 games, unable to capitalize on the power play. And for Edmonton, Louis, that's one well killed. I know you played. That's the kind of penalty where everyone is talking on the bench. Hey, let's make sure to kill this one off.
Including the goaltender, who's got to be your best penalty kill. But I agree with you, Jack. I think opportunities for the New Jersey Devils to bring pucks to the net, and I think also for Edmonton. McDavid off the rush shorthanded. Opportunity to get that puck to the net on Jake Allen. Only 4 shots each through the first 20 minutes of the game between these two teams. So I think that's going to be a message sent in the intermission.
Rogers Place, site of tonight's Edmonton, New Jersey clash. 0-0 after 1 on Sportsnet.
With the indigenous peoples and the traditions that they have, and then right there in the middle you can see him. There he is before the game, and as we're up here at the Sportsnet panel, this is what he's doing during the game. Chief Wilton Littlechild. Chief, great to see you again. We've talked many times over the past, and whenever I see you standing at center ice like that, I think of the importance of a game like this for us. But how important is it for the indigenous people to have a chance to celebrate their traditions and culture?
Well, it's very, very important, Gene. First of all, thank you very much for this opportunity. I think of 2 words when thinking about that question, both individually and then collectively. For collective impact of our communities, it's really, really important. On an individual level, it's about inspiration. The game and the team inspires us. So inspiration and inclusion, tremendous amount of value to us.
Those are great words, and it is a great evening. What is sort of the biggest thing that you would want everyone to take out of a night like this that celebrates the indigenous peoples?
I think to look at the value and the power of sport, in particular hockey. Hockey has the power to get people together, of course, to watch a game together, whatever, but I think the value of uplifting each other, in our case, our culture and our traditions, through the medium of sport, has a real wide outreach. I get a lot of people talk to me thanking the Oilers for doing this.
When you look at the sport of hockey, and you've got a great history in it, what did it mean to you? How did it help you become who you are today?
Well, I always say that hockey saved my life. I never want to think of what might have happened to me as an individual were it not for hockey. So it's a tremendous contribution to my own life, the sport of hockey. It literally saved my life. I could have been found dead somewhere. I could have had different addictions or whatever, but hockey was always there to pick me up.
Honorary member of the Edmonton Oilers Community Foundation is what you are, and every kid deserves a shot is an incredible initiative on the part of the Edmonton Oilers Community Foundation. Is that exactly what ties into what you're saying, is that every kid deserves a shot at playing sport and a shot in life, and do you think this program epitomizes that?
Yes, it does. Actually, you know, the key to opportunities to endless opportunity, just that access to a sport. And the Community Foundation, through the team, offers a lot of youth and children that unique opportunity for the first time maybe, but you never know the lifetime impact it has.
Well, you know what? The celebration is just beginning. It will continue throughout the evening. And Chief, always great to see you. Somehow you seem to get younger every time I interview you. So whatever you're doing, keep it up, and keep it up when it comes to the Indigenous community and everything that you do for them.
Thank you very much, and thank you to the Oilers Foundation and the team.
Yeah,
and through you.
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate you getting me in there. Thanks a lot. It's my privilege to be a part of so many great nights like this one. And you see how No Kid Left Alone 50-50, presented by Rogers, is in support of Indigenous youth hockey programs in oil country. Current jackpot, we're closing in on $1 million, and it is climbing fast. Get your tickets now anywhere in Alberta at edmontonoilers.com/50-50. The intermission continues after this.
You'll try anything for nighttime cold and flu relief.
Over a side, Jersey had the one power play on the instigator whistled against Vasily Podkolzin, who, remember, will not be available until the midway point of the second period. Basically, I'm actually being generous there. He won't be available until 5.5 minutes are left.
He's not even in the penalty box.
Cody Glass whips a shot from a sharp angle that's fielded flawlessly by Tristan Jarry. No stranger to the New Jersey Devils, that's for sure.
I think Podkolzin's pretty sure there's going to be a few whistles before he has to get in there. But yeah, that's the problem with that instigator being dished out in situations for me where, you know, both guys were willing combatants. But that's the rules, and that's how it goes. And he will be missed. They're already down a 4, dressed in 7-11 in this one. 7 defense and 11 forwards to start for Edmonton, so down 2 forwards for a while.
Saw that graphic in the upper left corner of your screen about just 1 goal allowed the last 10 periods for Edmonton. 7 straight clean sheets. As Curtis Lazar breaks the puck out to Emberson, he'll fling it in deep. But Jake Allen, he struggled early in his career against Edmonton as a member of the St. Louis Blues, but as we told you, he's won 4 in a row and been a big reason why New Jersey has given Edmonton fits the last 3 or 4 years as that puck sails out of play over the short glass.
And he played the first matchup between these two teams as well, and won that one for the New Jersey Devils. So you're right, he has confidence against the Oilers, and it shows. He's kind of standing in there. He's made a couple good saves. Only 4 shots that have hit the net from Edmonton so far. A couple of them with bodies around, though, that he's had to make good saves on. And I think for Edmonton, they need a little more of that. Get some traffic in front of them. Have a presence there, looking for anything left over.
Chipped in. I don't think Dylan was at center. That's an unforced error.
Just before center. It was really close, though.
Icing call, and Dylan's unhappy.
He's giving the linesman the gears there. They usually let you if you follow through. And I mean, I was too busy getting out of the way because it's right in front of me, and if that one comes up, it's going to be right in my grill. So you learn pretty quickly to move, and that's what I did. So I didn't.
Well, Dylan's also saying 14 years, 1,000 games. Come on.
Credit. Give me a little credit.
Here's McDavid. Off the draw. Ripped by Ekholm. That almost hit Savoy. Flattered off the boards. Held in by Bouchard. McDavid back to Savoy. Again, just 10 forwards available for the Oilers right now, so you're going to see some different combos. And now a hand pass whistled against the Edmonton Oilers. You do that in the defensive zone, it's fine. Not in the O-zone. Bring it back to neutral.
Yeah, just quick reaction. Right off the faceoff, though, for Ekholm. This is a shot mentality. You don't mind this at all. And when that puck's up on edge like that for Ekholm, he swings right through it. A little bit off target. It might have caught Savoy a little bit in the back as it deflected away, but hard to control those ones when the puck's up on edge, when they become really dangerous if they hit the net.
Nugent Hopkins against Hischier. Wins the face-off. Hischier all year long. Most face-offs taken, most face-offs won, top 20 in percentage. A workhorse, but it has not been his best offensive year. Been a problem for the Devils. Since Christmas of last year, this club is dead last in the league in goal scoring, and I never, ever would have thought that. Not with the pace they play at and the playmakers they have on the roster.
Skill they have. I'm with you, partner. But right now they're just in a bit of a funk offensively that way. Their defensive game is pretty sound. They're a team that works hard away from the puck. As we've talked about, their speed has been trouble already in this one.
Nugent Hopkins fell. Here's Andre Palat with a wrist shot that was blocked. He's under control. Wedges one over to Palat, trying to protect. Andre Palat just 4 goals all season. Jesper Bratt spun off balance by Spencer Stastny, and here come the Oilers. Frederick to Nugent Hopkins gliding in. Softball heading Allen's way, and he'll elect to stick that one in his hip pocket with Nugent Hopkins bearing down on him.
Gives a little offensive zone face-off time here, and that's not a bad play from Nugent Hopkins. Little chip in charge, and when you look back to that first period, it was the Zach Hyman chip in charge that I felt started to set things in motion for Edmonton, and sometimes it just takes you a little bit of time to figure out the fact that this team's pretty good at picking off pucks in the neutral zone. Don't try and pass through sticks because they'll pick it off, and they're looking to transition quickly, the New Jersey Devils. And I think it has to be a more straightforward, in-your-grill kind of game here in this second period if Edmonton wants to create some chances.
Cody Glass, first ever draft pick of the Vegas Golden Knights. Off the right-hand side, Nemitz bangs it in. Bouchard to Ekholm, a drive by Nemitz, and that was tipped and sails out of play.
This period brought to you by Rona. Make sure your home can take on hockey all season long. Build it right. Build it Rona.
Don't miss out on tonight's Oilers No Kid Left Alone 50-50, presented by Rogers in support of Indigenous youth hockey programs in oil country. Current jackpot is over $1 million and climbing fast. Get your tickets now before it's too late at EdmontonOilers.com/50-50.
Bouchard got a pass through Timo Meyer. McDavid tried to swing it down low. That was broken up, but this is going to be an icing call against the New Jersey Devils, with 3 minutes gone by in this second period.
Not a whole lot of flow in this one so far. That's for sure, but it's important when you're in a game like this to just stay in the hunt, stay in the battle, because if you lose your concentration for that second, that's when something can happen. Edmonton's been pretty solid in that regard. Being able to just kind of stay in the pressure, stay in the battle, find their opportunities when they come. Playing the right way. Here's another icing.
And since our viewers couldn't see Louis, his tongue was so far in his cheek, he looked like he had half a patch of Red Man in there. Remember the old school Red Man?
Yeah.
It was leafy.
Big league chew. Levi Garrett. It is leafy. And you know what? Here it is right now this season. It's amazing that this team hasn't been able to put 3 wins together, but only 1 regulation loss in their last 8, but 0-6-2 in the attempts they've had to win 3 in a row this season. Looking to try and do it for the 9th time tonight.
And that 1 regulation defeat at the hands of the New York Islanders, and more specifically, Ilya Sorokin. Here's Connor McDavid dashing into the offensive zone. Time and a shot. That stayed out. It got through Allen. It just missed.
I mean, Connor's been in the traffic in this one tonight.
Punch forward by Jesper Bratt, guided by Regula over to Nurse. And now Savoy will jam it in deep. Pesci up the right-hand side. So long a fixture for the Carolina Hurricanes. Dougie Hamilton, also an ex-Cane like Pesci, now with the New Jersey Devils. Up the right-hand side, Paul Cotter. He'll take it hard to the hole against Regula, and that was paddled back behind by Jari. Oilers turn it over, though. Connor Brown tried to feed it through, and that was ripped wide by Cotter. We talked about a puck being on edge from Ekholm. Same for Cotter on that bid. Mangiapane found a streaking Howard who gets it in deep, and the Oilers go back to work in the offensive zone. Janmark to Howard, shadowed by Nemitz. Wallman showing shot, instead cross ice to Janmark. Got around Kovacevic when he tried to tuck it inside, though, broken up. Nemitz under control, pursued, and eventually coughed it up.
Great forecheck.
Mangiapane given second life. Janmark and Howard both just would not let Nemitz out. Here's Paul Cotter the other way now for the Devils. He'll swing it around. New Jersey needs to make a change. Good play by Glass to keep it in them. Nemitz against Wallman, hugging that half wall, but Howard will skate it out. and send one rink wide to Mangiapane. Nice little change of pace to get through Hamilton initially, but then a centering pass is intercepted by Glass. Gritsuk with him now. Here's a shot, and that was indeed Eminaho with a bid for his first NHL goal. Inside, and there's the first goal of the game, Gritsuk. Little centering pass into the slot, and the quick release from Arseny Gritsuk. His ninth breaks the scoreless logjam. It's 1-0 Devils.
Well, a couple chances. The Devils have come out and again registered the more shots in this period early on. And it's just a nice feed. It's just good work along the wall, and you're going to see Cody Glass that'll stop up, and Gritsuk just gets himself to that slot, and it's a one-timer. Quick release is the key here as he walks into this one. And it's the speed in which he gets it away. You can see Jari thinks that he has it, but it's already gone by the time he gets into that position. That's why you let it go quickly, and the New Jersey Devils strike first here in the second period, 1-0.
Glass and Hamilton with the helpers. Menaho with the initial chance, and then the Devils able to work it around off the cycle. They're guilty of icing here, but they've taken a 1-0 lead. That's what you have to do if you're playing with the Oilers, because Edmonton's lost only one game all year long in regulation when they get the first.
We're seeing both teams try and use the walls a little bit more and then find the center, and that's exactly what happens here. It's the little stop up by Glass. Once he gets this puck stop, changes, opens up a little bit of a lane as he fakes like he's going to go back to the defenseman, finds the seam out to the slot. Gritsuk just absolutely rips that one. He was waiting and ready for it.
5th round pick, and like Jimeno, his first year in North America. Jack Roslovic, a shot from distance that was blocked in front, available for a moment, and then spun to the corner by Pesce with Nugent Hopkins draped all over him. Frederick and Roslovic in the vicinity, but ducking out a dangerous Siegenthaler. Punched forward by Andre Palat, but too much on it, and it's another icing against New Jersey.
No matter McDavid's ambition, CIBC would have a personalized plan, just like we'll have a plan for you too. CIBC, proud partner of Connor McDavid and the Edmonton Oilers.
UFC 324 hits T-Mobile Arena with some serious fireworks. What a main event we've got. The highlight against the Batty for the interim lightweight title. That's Saturday, 7 o'clock on Sportsnet Plus.
That one won't go the distance, I can assure you.
Yeah, you were telling me you see that fight. Maybe lucky to get out of round
there
one.
There will be fireworks. Both guys have great hands. Both have great groundwork, but I just don't see it going to the ground. I think they're going to battle.
Bouchard curls one over to Ekholm as Edmonton looks to answer New Jersey's game-opening goal. McDavid takes a pass from Bouchard, shoots, and a save made. Jake Allen. That's his best save of the night on McDavid from the slot. 7 minutes gone by, second period. It's Arseny Gritsuk who's given the New Jersey Devils a 1-0 lead on Sportsnet. Tonight's Closer Look brought to you by Specsavers. Don't miss a play. Keep your eyes healthy with regular eye exams, including OCT.
Well, nobody's been able to touch McDavid for a while, it seems. He's been just on a different level, but he's been touched up a few times in this game. Few collisions. This is the hit by Kovacevic that led to the instigator, and 17 minutes to Vasily Podkolzin. They're going to miss him still for a while. And here again, goes right through the blue paint. Gets roughed up by Allen, pushed out of there. He's been in the traffic. It was him that had that last shot on net through a screen. Good save by Jake Allen.
Wallman a drive score. Devils won. Puck play with a high stick, but it's ruled a goal on the ice. Wallman the trigger man, and Matt Savoy has broken a 16-game goal-scoring drought. He ties it up at 1 with his 8th.
Directly into the net. It's crossbar height. They instantly kind of look towards the official. Jake Allen did. He's looking up at the screen now, off the face-off, and this is a quick shot here by Wallman. He gets this puck, one-handed, brings it to the forehand. It's a little half slapper. I don't know if it goes off the stick. It might go off the body, actually. Everybody was trying to duck and get out of the way, including Savoy. I mean, that just goes right through everyone. If it catches the stick, it's going to be in the shaft by the hands. But pretty hard to tell on that one. I think this is going to be a good goal because it might be off the body. That's what happens when you shoot the puck with a screen. On my looks here, I don't necessarily see that being hit with a stick. They're taking a long, hard look to my left on the New Jersey Devils bench.
And again, do you risk putting the Oilers on the power play at home with a chance to take the lead? They're not going to take that risk.
And great job by Wallman. One-handed, brings it back from his one hand to get it in place, and it's not even a half slapper, it's a quarter. But he gets it away quickly, and that's why it's in the back of the net.
Savoy's first goal since December the 16th at home over Pittsburgh. We'll see the Penguins on Thursday night. Is another one-timer, and that was ripped high and wide by Rosovic as the Oilers immediately counter with another chance. Savoy on the puck. His goal, by the way, means that Save-On Foods has given away their first prize. Wallman and Howard, the assists, as Edmonton gets the equalizer. Jack Hughes, a bouncer across, got through Wallman, but not handled by Jimenez. And as a result, Devils have to clear. Hughes drags it back in. Jimenez punished in the corner by Nurse. They're really going at it.
They're still going at it. But talk about ports of face-offs, Jack. You mentioned it in the first period. Edmonton dominated in the face-off. Didn't have anything to show for it, but that face-off win led to that goal.
Here's a near steal by Gritsyuk on a little clear from Tristan Jarry, but Gritsyuk unable to come up with it. 2 goals in a minute 38 after a scoreless 25. Cody Glass wrapped up with Nurse. And as we approach the midway point of the hockey game, we're now tied at 1. Gritsyuk, maybe a 2-on-1 center pass, one-timer ripped home by Glass, and the Devils right back in front. They lead 2-1, and after a quiet 25 minutes, we've now had 3 goals in a span of 3:09.
Turnovers in the neutral zone here, Jack, is what's going to lead to this goal here against Edmonton. And credit the Jersey Devils. They've been good at picking off passes, getting pucks going the other way, but for Edmonton, they just haven't been able to kind of win those battles and continue through the neutral zone. And this is a transitional play once again. A puck comes up for grab, little entanglement here by Darnell Nurse, and that's what leaves Glass wide open, is that he's tangled up. Nurse goes to the bench. He thinks the puck's going the other way, but it leaves Glass open, and bam, the one-timers in the back of the net as the New Jersey Devils respond quickly after the 1-1 goal.
How about the fourth line getting both goals tonight for New Jersey? Gritsyuk from Glass, and now Glass from Gritsyuk. And Cody Glass, an early beat on the Cy Young this year. That's his 11th goal. He has 3 assists. Here's McDavid, hard to the net, centering pass, and that was broken up by a hastily retreating Jonas Siegenthaler. Give ex-Oiler Connor Brown the 2nd assist on the go-ahead goal.
Mercer did a nice job to backtrack on McDavid there, who had a little step, as a little chip in charge himself. One-handed, he gets the puck by the defender, and he's gone. But it was Mercer, the forward. And we've talked about that back-checking by the New Jersey Devils. It's created some tough spots in the neutral zone. Here it is, little chip in charge past Siegenthaler, and Mercer's the forward right there to pick him up. He still does get it right out into the slot. But a good job by Mercer, the forward, to be in that position and support.
McDavid wins another face-off cleanly, as Louis talked about. Edmonton dominant in the circle. There's McDavid hard to the hole. They won 11 of 15 in the first period, even though they didn't have the puck much after that. So late in the first, when they started to go to work on the forecheck. Dougie Hamilton under control for the Devils. Faceoff's a bit more even here in the second period. Oilers are 1-9 of 16. Hamilton. Little give and go with Brown. Did that exit the zone? I think it did. That would not have counted. Spilled off the pads of Jarry. Devils tag back up, and now Bouchard ahead for Yanmark. Clubbed off his stick by Dillon. before being hammered back in by Ekholm. And this puck, delay of game coming. Delay of game.
Extra in front of me is Connor and Bouchard having some words.
Dylan to the box.
Yep, he knew it right away, headed right over the penalty boxes.
2 minutes for delay of game.
Don't mind a little bit of this. Starting to get a little engaged here as both benches having a conversation in front of me. But here it is again, the forecheck. And it's Mangiapane gets in there quickly, and then because of that pressure, the play that's made by Dylan up over the glass, that's why you forecheck. We've talked about it so often. It's free. Get your feet pumping, force defense to make plays, and Dylan puts that one a little too high in the first power play for Edmonton.
And it's brought to you by Play Alberta. Oilers on the power play this year, #1 in the league at 33%. Even without Draisaitl, you still have McDavid with 9 and Nugent Hopkins and Hyman with 7 power play goals on the season. Devils on the penalty kill, mediocre, 23rd in the league, 77%. Nugent Hopkins to Hyman. Rolls off a check to Bouchard. Nugent Hopkins, same side as McDavid. He'll give it to him. McDavid, drag move, spins, tries to backhand it in front. That was swatted against the corner boards by Hischier. Eventually played back to Bouchard. He'll walk the line. Hischier's pressure forces that puck over.
Jake Wallman taking this position again on this first power play unit without Leon Draisaitl. Vasily Podkolzin in practice there this morning and was slotted to be in that shooting position, but is still serving the 17 minutes.
For the instigator in the first period, a fight answering a hit by Kovacevic. What a keep by Bouchard. Over to Wallman. Steps up. Bouchard. McDavid. Brief bobble. Puck available for a moment. Bouchard keeps against Hischier. Down low to Nugent Hopkins. Bumped by Mercer off the puck. And that'll be slashed down the middle by Brett Pesce.
Trying to be a little too cute here, and really ultra-aggressive penalty kill by the New Jersey Devils. They've been all over the puck carrier, and it's turned it over multiple times. Haven't had that good shot yet.
There's McDavid using a screen and a quick shot off the rush. Pushed it a bit wide. Returned to Bouchard at the point. Still 30 seconds. What a steal by Connor Brown. And the Devils may have something brewing shorthanded. Here's Connor Brown. Centered pass. Shot. What a save! Tristan Jarry. Robbery against Cody Glass. His most spectacular save as an Oiler.
Was it ever? Beautiful pass by Connor Brown. Pick off here on this attempted pass by Bouchard. Sets the 2-on-1 in motion. It's a hard pass by Brown to Glass. That's key because now Jarry has to respond a little quicker. Does he ever? Slides across, takes it away, and flashes the leather. I mean, Glass had the upper corner picked on this one and has it absolutely taken away.
Mark that one down, obviously. 8.5 to go. That goes in. Shorthanded goal, maybe even a backbreaker. At 3-1, you'd still have a period and a half to play, but it is tough to win a hockey game when you give up a shorthanded goal like that. And Tristan Jarry made sure it would not happen against Glass with a goal and assist already in this period. Here's Ekholm walking into one, and he fanned on it. Lost the handle, and Glass again the other way with Brown. What a recovery by Darnell Nurse to chop that one away. This is too many men on the ice against the Devils, but I think they got away with it, Lou.
Yep. I don't see.
Here's Isaac Howard dishing. Savoy to Roslovic. Had it pried loose for a moment by Timo Meier, and then played back down low. Dougie Hamilton to Jesper Bratt, and across to Jack Hughes. Bratt on the move. Hughes let it go through. Meier, a shot, missed high glove. Rebound, Frederick. Centering pass off a skate, and that flips out of play with 7.5 minutes remaining in the second period. Tristan Jarry has electrified this Rogers Place crowd, even with the Oilers down 2-1. We'll remember that save.
24-56, 24-57.
Be comfortable thinking outside.
Amazing!
And this year, meet the puppies' new families as they cheer.
Recording resumed.
Well, Connor Ingram and Tristan Jarry having a laugh either about that save or maybe that the media couldn't figure out who the starting goalie was this morning. So Jari was at the New Jersey Devils bench end of the ice, which is normally where the backup would be, where Connor Ingram was what we would call in the starter's net on the Oilers bench side of the ice. So there was a bit of confusion, but we were told by Chris Knobloch this morning that Tristan Jarry has a, I don't know if you call it a superstition, Louis and Jack, but he likes to be at the opposite end. And I would say to all of us media, the one thing we need to watch out for is the first goalie off the ice is almost always the starting netminder.
You know what, Jack? That's why you never ask the first question.
Exactly. And also, I can't stand that term, the starter's net. Here's Hughes rolling. I'm glad Jarry's turned it on its ear. Hughes, beautiful pass between the wickets to Kovacevic, and a shot by Nemitz deflected wide. Hughes back on the puck, rolled it in front, and Bratt couldn't find it. Frederick did. Off to Ty Emerson. He got thumped in the corner by Meyer. The puck remains in the zone for now. Nemitz and Meyer. Meyer blasted by Emerson. 2-1 Devils, could have been 3-1. Jarry, a remarkable stop. With the Devils short-handed to prevent further damage. Shot by Janmark into the slot. Trying to come up with a rebound is Curtis Lazar, who scored in the dying seconds in that earlier loss in Jersey back in October. In fact, he's got 3 goals in his last 4 games against the Devils.
If he's a lefty right there, that's a better chance. That's a sharp angle shot from Janmark, knowing that he's standing in front of Lazar, and Trent Fred was trying to get the inside position again.
Ritsu snapped his stick in half, trying to take that puck from Hyman. Now with New Lumber, receives a lead pass from Palat and took a shot that ends up out of play.
Brick by brick. Banner by banner. Coventry Homes, never done building.
The forlorn Podkolzin about a minute away from being ready to return to action. And Louis, I can't imagine it's easy, because now you haven't played in a half hour. Aren't you ice cold, or are you?
I'm guessing that's why he stayed in the room for as long as he could. Probably had his skates off, get on the bike, ride the bike a little bit, keep your legs going, because it is tough.
Siegenthaler to Pesce, a shot dropped by Jarry. What'd you do to
in my role? You just got used to it. You just got used to long periods of time between your shifts.
Siegenthaler inside backhander, and that was towed wide by Palat. Rolled off the toe of his stick. Hischier, Siegenthaler whiffed completely and then shot down Savoy. Siegenthaler whiffed on the shot, and his initial reaction was to worry about Savoy going the other way. He hauled him down. He'll get penalized, and the Oilers will look for the equalizer on the power play when we come back. Napa know-how.
Well, we've talked a lot about goaltending, and good reason. This is a shorthanded chance by Cody Glass, receives the pass from Connor Brown, and I mean just absolutely taken away with the glove of Tristan Jarry. Watch this save. Boom. Thank you very much. That was upstairs. The only good chance on the power play for Edmonton. Their first. This is their second here. They want to be much better. A couple laughs on the bench with Connor Ingram.
Oilers win this game. That's also going to be at the play of the game. I mean, there's no question that it would have been a tall order for Edmonton. Down 2, having just given up a shorthanded goal.
It's incredible how many little pucks the New Jersey Devils are coming up with right now, and you just saw an example of it there. That puck was up for grabs a couple of times, and just it's the Devils that come up with it and put it down 200 feet.
Hischier drove it down. Nugent Hopkins to McDavid, who's had a few touches tonight, but the Devils have done well. Center piece, what a save! Stretching out to deny Jake Woolman. It's Jake Allen answering Jarry's 10-beller from a couple minutes back.
And he just had to lunge across on this one. A lot of taps here as Vasily Podkolzin steps on the ice and comes over to the bench. Good work here to keep battling through the sticks, and then eventually it's Nugent Hopkins with a beautiful pass. As he gets this puck, he threads it right through Dylan, and boy, tell you, for Jake Allen, he had no choice but to just push off and make himself as big as possible, and he still makes the save. Looked like it had a little light of day through the wickets, but he pounces on it and gets the whistle.
Edmonton's best chance of the night, and another loose puck. That's the second one that Heschier's been able to come up with on this Devils penalty kill. We're down to 1:15 on the Oiler power play. 2-1 hockey game. That's another penalty.
Interference for sure.
Against Connor Brown.
They're both going. Who's going to call
they're going to call McDavid for embellishment.
Both buddies don't like each other right now.
No.
Well, Connor Brown knows that he's got to be with McDavid here, so he gets his feet moving. I don't know, man. I don't see an embellishment there. I mean, and Connor doesn't embellish too often. I don't know what he's supposed to do there, but they are each reaching respectively. Oh, there you go. They think it's a dive in the crowd.
So
4-on-3.
Power play remains intact for a minute
5 on
10.
4, my bad.
Yeah, 5 on 4 coincidental. So Nugent Hopkins lines up, wins a face-off cleanly on Hischier. And now Podkolzin is available just a few seconds ago. So he comes on to replace McDavid. You've got Isaac Howard out there as well, coming up with a puck to Zach Hyman, who fire right into the chest of Allen. And then the rebound played by Hamilton around the boards and out. Bouchard able to knock it down, still 45 seconds. So no Draisaitl, no McDavid on this top power play unit. Of course, Draisaitl not expected back in uniform until at the earliest Thursday against Pittsburgh. Here's Nugent Hopkins. Hyman, little miscommunication there as Bouchard wasn't at the point. Dawson Mercer tracking. 20 seconds left in the man advantage for the Oilers. Nugent Hopkins hit by Mercer as he hit the line, dropped it to Hamilton, and then he flung it off the glove. Nugent Hopkins 2-on-1 now. Mercer a shot, and Jari might have got a piece with a blocker, and once again, the Devils miss out on a shorthanded point-blank chance.
Grade A. I mean, that's a 2-on-0, or 2-on-1, sorry, that leads. I don't know how they were both up the ice. This is the best chance right here by Hyman in the power play, though, and you're right. He just tried to pick a corner and ends up shooting it right into the crest of Jake Allen. Sometimes you just can't quite get that puck on the blade where you want. Here's the 2-on-1, and I mean, talk about stretching shorthand. That's the second 2-on-1 they've had. And Mercer just fired that one a little too hard.
2 shots on the power play for the Oilers, but the best chance probably belonged to the Devils. Here's Roslovic. Taping it in deep. Siegenthaler hustles onto the ice. We're back to 5-on-5. Roslovic across to Ekholm. And now Savoy. Ekholm lobs one down low. That's going to be taken. Glass comes thundering into Roslovic. Siegenthaler tried to make a play to Dillon. That didn't pan out. 3 defensemen on the ice for the Devils still. Jake Allen. Tough pass. Pesce was well guarded. Cleared by Glass. And finally, New Jersey's able to get a third forward on the ice with 3 and change remaining in this second period. Devils lead at 2-1. The go-ahead goal by Cody Glass. As we had 3 goals in a span of 3 minutes and 9 seconds. Emberson drives it down low. Nemitz up the left-hand side, not out. Emberson shot. Skitters wide. Janmark on it. Check by Siegenthaler. Jack Hughes. Kick back. Nemitz on target. Braddock, little change of pace as he slides down the half wall. Check by Lazar. Hughes with Nurse draped all over him. Timo Meier comes over. Reverse little pop on Nurse. Guided back to the point. Hamilton. Jack Hughes lost the handle. Here's a quick chance. Hughes without a goal in his last 13 games coming in. He scored in his first game back from the injury, and now point blank. And again can't come up with it cleanly. Jari pushed out toward the blue paint. And Hughes denied again. It's been a long dry spell for him dating back to December the 21st. Hamilton to Dillon as we go inside. 2 minutes to play now in this middle frame. Amenaho in deep. Gritsuk able to hold on to it. Paul Connor fired it back into the corner. Amenaho with Cotter, able to keep it alive for now, but Bouchard's stretch play to Nugent Hopkins is on target. But Colson tried to jab it past Pesci. Cotter got it ahead of Nugent Hopkins, but failed to clear. Bouchard slapped it back down low, but Cotter's still there. Able to launch one down the middle. That's on net. Jari doesn't mind playing the puck. Right on the tape of Bouchard and ahead to Roslovic. Just down the range. Savoy could not handle that lead pass, and the Devils once again able to chip the puck inside the Edmonton blue line with a minute to go in this second period. Roslovic with a chance. Trying to reel him in from behind. Palat Croissant is fanning on it. Spencer Stastny kept him alive. Devils almost overran the play, and now you've got Dawson Mercer. Look at the transition. Hughes, a little behind Palat. They send it around the boards. Hughes trying to shake it free from Wallman. He does. One-timer. And that clipped the outside of the post. Jari was there as Jesper Bratt was looking to tee one up with the Devils up 2-1.
Pace picked up here later in this second period, and a couple quick turnovers and pickpocket right there by Meyer out to Hughes, and just couldn't handle that hot pass on the tape. It was a rocket. But a little pickpocket, a quick little pass, and good job by Jari to get the pad out. He did get a stick on that Mercer chance, too. He talked about shorthanded. The butt end of the stick above the blocker, so I thought Mercer missed, but actually Jari got a piece of that one. Quick pace.
Hughes playing game number 400 tonight in his young NHL career. 99-point season a couple years ago for Lindy Ruff. Here's McDavid, hard charging in from the right-hand side. The Nurse throws down wide and trying to wrap around, and that was stopped by Allen. Final 20 seconds. McDavid with his own keep. Flings it back to the opposite corner. Nurse ran to Hughes right off the puck and then spun it down low. Dillon allowed it to get out front, and that pinballed around. And Nurse has shot at the horn, and that came off the glass. Still time. Emberson has it blocked. And Jack Hughes and the New Jersey Devils, who are a perfect 16-0, second only to Colorado this year in terms of an unblemished record when leading after 2 periods, head to the dressing room up 2-1.
Fewest shots after 2 periods for the Edmonton Oilers in a game this season, so obviously in the third period they're going to have to find more shots on Jake Allen. They started to pick it up, started to get in the forecheck, and started to find loose pucks, but they'll need more of that in the third period, down by 1.
Couple of power plays gone by the boards for Edmonton. Gritsuk and Glass, the goal scorers for New Jersey. For Edmonton, Matt Savoy is off the stein. But it's the Devils 2, the Oilers 1 after 2. Straight ahead, our Hockey Central update with Carolyn Cameron and Luke Gaston.
How you feeling? No Kid Left Alone 50-50 presented by Rogers in support of Indigenous youth hockey programs in oil country. Current jackpot almost reaching $1.2 million and climbing fast for tonight's big draw. Get your tickets now before it's too late at edmontonoilers.com/50-50. Vasily Podkolzin, well, too late for maybe Vancouver, but not for the Edmonton Oilers, for this young man who's developing into a wonderful player. Despite tragedy hitting his family earlier this season, signing an extension, a new deal, and then his father just passed away suddenly. Head of the family, he was the one that kind of got Vasily into hockey and made him love the game. And now Vasily has turned into, if not the father figure for his younger brother, who's 14 years of age. Mikhail and Mom was here, and they had a chance to get on the ice. And, you know, it's a great story of a guy who's been through some tough times, Louis and Jack. He certainly is, I don't know if he's the hardest working guy, but I'd like to see who works harder than him and also who would be more well-liked than Vasily Podkolzin on the Edmonton Oilers.
Team hits leader, Louis, coming off goals in back-to-back games. And a guy who, again, I mean, Vancouver, I remain befuddled by why he didn't fit in there, especially for Rick Tocchet, because he's come into Edmonton, and we were told by the Vancouver staff that he was a hard worker there. It's not like he discovered work ethic in Edmonton.
Very well liked there, too, and just a mature young man. And, he's gone through a lot here with the passing of his father. He's handled it very well, and he's just led by example, to be honest with you, Jack. I think he's just gone to work every day, as you mentioned, and puts that work in. It's paying off for him now. But for a young man, he's just mature beyond his years. Very well liked here, too.
Well, the Oilers have to overcome a couple of trends here with the New Jersey Devils. Edmonton does have 3 wins when trailing after 2 this year. But as I mentioned earlier, the Devils a perfect 16-0 when leading after 2. And New Jersey has been better in the close games this year than Edmonton has. Gritsyuk ahead, and a shot from distance by Pesce is speared by Tristan Jarry.
Well, there you go. Teams leading after 2 periods. The New Jersey Devils second to only the juggernaut on the left-hand side there. The Colorado Avalanche, the Anaheim Ducks, the Los Angeles Kings round out the top 4. 16-0, as you mentioned, Jack. And that's a terrific record. So this is a team that are great front runners. When they have the lead, they don't sit back. And you saw it right here in the first shift again, much like the first period and the second period. It's the New Jersey Devils that can only have that first shot on net, and they're looking for more.
And in the close games, as Edmonton takes an icing call off the draw, Ekholm the guilty party. New Jersey ground out a 2-1 decision last night in Calgary. They're 14-6 in 1-goal games this year. And the Oilers, who were so good in those 1-goal games last year, they've dropped off 8-14, as you see in the upper left corner.
Yeah, they were so good for a couple of years there, where they were just money if it was a tight game, and they just had the ability to hang on, do what they need to do, and find that extra one. Maybe fatigue, would be my guess. After a couple of years of running the Stanley Cup Finals, it's a daunting task in a lot of hockey.
Dump in by Hyman. Hamilton. McDavid able to pick it up. He's been held off the score sheet thus far. A drive wide by Ekholm. And Jake Allen looking for his 5th straight win against Edmonton. Bouchard to McDavid. Tried to center. That was deflected. McDavid in front, and Nugent Hopkins had it roll off the toe of his stick. You said something earlier, Louis. Some nights you just don't have it collectively. And it's another example of certainly the last 2 games that was in the net.
Yeah, it's been a bit of that in this one. It's been the Devils for sure with their speed, their quick sticks, and taking time and space away. But McDavid found that chance. I mean, he worked down the wall, battled the check, and just that subtle little pass out to Nugent Hopkins. You're right. Great chance. He just couldn't quite get a stick on it at the right moment. Checking it right now to make sure that everything's okay. Boy, this is the work. This is the work right here. And just to fight through Palat and then force that one right. I mean, that's right on the tape. But, for Nugent Hopkins, he's usually ready for these. He gets down and he's ready for it. And I think he just wants to bring it back just to load the stick. And it rolls off the tip of the blade as McDavid giving some back in this one. He's taken some. Gives one back to Mercer there a little bit along the wall in front of the bench.
Nugent Hopkins scored twice in the loss to New Jersey back in Newark in October. Stastny winds it around. Nemitz thought someone was there. Woman redirected off a skate of Jesper Bratt and right on net. And Bratt, an appreciative tap of the pads of an alert Jake Allen.
Yeah, you're trying to defend, right? So you're not necessarily always keeping an eye vigilantly on the puck, and this one just thrown there, and you can see off the stick. I think he was maybe just trying to deflect it to the corner or trying to stop it, but it goes off him through a couple skates, and for Allen, who's sliding from right to left.
Tough save. McDavid, Nugent Hopkins, and Hyman. As you pointed out, Louis, sometimes when you're in motion, it doesn't matter how hard the shot is or tip. Face-off win for Paul Carter. Pesce slammed it off the glass, and that climbed into about the 6th row behind the Devils bench.
This period brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling, home of no payments, no interest for 1 year.
McDavid and Hischier, the 2 captains. And McDavid pulls the faceoff back to Ekholm. Bouchard, rink wide, and he another bobble. Very similar to the Nugent-Hopkins play. Just a different area of the ice, but if that's caught cleanly, it might be in the net, especially the way Hyman's been going.
Everything's gone so well for Edmonton the last couple of games coming into this one, but gripping the sticks a little tight maybe and just not able to kind of get. That was another great pass by Bouchard, diagonally right onto the stick of Hyman.
And you want that guy with that chance. Hyman, 7 goals in his last 7, 17 in his last 20, the most of anyone in the league.
And when you're not getting a lot of shots, sometimes I think, Jack, you try and make the perfect one. So instead of just one time in that, getting it to the net quickly, he wants to stop it. And maybe for Edmonton right now, we saw Ritsiak's goal was a one-timer. Get it there quick. It's got a good chance to go if the goaltender's not in position. Right now, Jake Allen, if he's seeing it, he's stopping it. Get it there a little quicker.
It's a good point you make about Ritsiak's shot, Louis, because the Devils have been guilty of that tonight as well. It's not like either club has really made a concerted effort to put the puck on the net on a regular basis. Mangiapane, both teams looking to finesse it into the goal at times.
And listen, if you're fighting it, sometimes that's what it takes. You know, let that puck pinball around in front of the net. Get off a stick. You just saw one that went off a stick, almost went in the net. Maybe that's the kind of goal you're looking for. And then when you loosen up and soften up, call it a jab if you want. You look for the big right hand and a nice play. But right now, just get pucks to the net with bodies there and see if things can happen, because the New Jersey Devils are pretty content with keeping things to the outside.
Kovacevic turned it over. Again, it's just his 4th game back, Louis, and we saw some of that rustiness creep in there. Excuse me to cut you off, but you could see that developing as Kovacevic almost handed one to Edmonton. Stastny. Hughes able to wrestle it away inside of Meyer. And he put that one upstairs. Timo Meier's not had the rangefinder going tonight. 13 goals on the year for a guy who scored 20 in 7 of the last 8 years. Reload for Wallman. Roslovic hustling it in from center. Pesce tried to reverse, and Roslovic skated right by him. Sometimes the puck just not going to land cleanly on your stick. For both teams tonight, it's been that collective, dual collective. Dadonov kicked it back to Siegenthaler from Pesce. Remember, the Devils lost Luke Hughes tonight. Sheldon Keefe talked about just the pace that Luke plays with. An excellent matchup for McDavid. But the Devils have hung in there, and they lead it 2-1 as Ekholm slashes it in deep. Pinballed off a referee, and we saw that friendly bounce for the Devils last night in Calgary. That almost went the other way.
Play Alberta's biggest offer ever is here. Sign up today to find out if you're Alberta's next winner.
Some nights you just fight the puck a little bit. This seems to be one of those nights. This one explodes off the stick of Hyman, who was trying to load that for a shot on a nice pass. Here's the turnover. Kovacevic just tries to make this play and then leaves the puck there as he takes his eye off it for a second. Doesn't amount to a grade A chance, but it very well could have.
But Colson tried to feed Janmark. And that puck squeezed by. This hit a Devil on the bench, and so the faceoff will come back into the New Jersey zone.
Lots of whistles in this game, too, and I think that benefits the New Jersey Devils right now, because it's not really allowing the Oilers to kind of find that flow. There was a period in the first period that I thought, we talked about the chip in charge by Zach Hyman that led to a chance, and then all of a sudden it's building on a shift. The next one out there tries to go and do the same thing. It's been pretty choppy.
One-timer Wallman, second of the back-to-back 2 for the Devils. Here's a backhander and a save made on Hyman by Jake Allen. Sometimes with all those draws, you get an extra breather. Dillon couldn't make a play. Centering pass, Hyman deflected. That's clean from Wallman, but it's on the tape of Nico Hischier. Up the left-hand side for Palat to the middle. On the puck for a moment was Mercer. He tried to fling it across to Nemitz. That did not pan out. And now Jack Hughes with Connor McDavid bearing on him. almost turned it over, but he had a secondary layer of support in Timo Meier. Here's Hyman. Podkolzin stopped. Jake Allen stayed with him. I thought Podkolzin made a good move. Here's another turnover, and Hyman rings it off the post. Two chances materialize out of nowhere for Edmonton, and the Oilers can't find the equalizer. Another pass off a skate. Nimitz in trouble. McDavid has Mangiapane. Centers tipped. Mangiapane behind the net. Podkolzin. Wild action. McDavid. Emerson across. Stastny. Centers. Shot and a save. Allen on Podkolzin, who's back on the puck, looking for Stastny. Has him. Mangiapane. Podkolzin from distance, and Allen with a smart play to grab it.
Best flurry since the first period for Edmonton. Multiple chances in a row. Podkolzin sent it alone. Terrific right pad save by Allen to stick that one out. And then here's another chance by Hyman. He dents the bar, trying to go up over top of Allen on that one. And then the glove hand save after that. That's the same one, actually. The bar again is the look to the sky.
Sam Nelson flew into Berlin.
Welcome to
Jake Allen with a terrific pad save to keep it a one-goal lead for the New Jersey Devils. And it's Podkolzin, a little slingshot. It's McDavid in the middle, but it's Hyman that finds Podkolzin with the pass. And he kind of just storms right down the middle, receives that pass, top speed, fakes going to the backhand, brings it back to the forehand. And for Allen, he extends that right pad out towards Podkolzin. Pretty hard to elevate that puck up over top of a sprawl goaltender when the pad's half a foot away from the puck. He stones him.
See the shots. 5 great chances for Edmonton. 3 of them on that last sequence. And the Devils, meanwhile, unable to generate again. And that's something Sheldon Keefe talked about this morning at length. Hischier slashes it toward Palat. Just haven't had their offensive mojo over the last calendar year plus now. Bouchard up the middle. This is going to be icing. It's not just this year where the Devils are 28th in the league in goals scored. Again, you go back to Christmas, they're dead last. Christmas of 2024.
Just not putting it together, and it's not from lack of trying. This is a fast team that makes plays in a hurry, and even in this one, again tonight, there's chances they could have brought the puck to the net, and chances you look at and say, boy, that was a really, really good chance. Too short-handed on 2 good saves by Jari.
Gotten 2 tonight. They lead the league with 16 games, scoring 1 or none this year. And the Devils, after starting 8-1, an 8-game winning streak, including the victory over Edmonton, they're 9-15-1 in their last 25 coming in, the second worst record in the league over that stretch. And as Louis talked about earlier, a lot has to do with the injury to Jack Hughes. It kind of derailed them offensively after the first month and a half of the season. Emerson shoots it in. Allen the drop off to Hamilton. Brendan Dillon up the left-hand side. Dodonov. Double team by Roslovic and Savoy. Hamilton hesitated and then iced the puck. A bit of a panicky play there. 8 minutes gone, third period, 2-1 Devils.
Pizza 73, Edmonton's homegrown #1 pizza. Hunger happens. Order on game day. Pizza 73, the official pizza of the Edmonton Oilers.
Icing call allows Nugent Hopkins to center McDavid and Hyman. Bouchard and Ekholm out there as well. So Edmonton with its best 5 off the draw. Hamilton. Checked by Hyman.
10% battery.
Set up the right-hand side. Slashed off the boards by Brown. Got a friendly bounce off the linesman. Quick dish ahead for Hyman. Trying to talk it in front for McDavid. That was broken up by Siegenthal. Shot Bouchard off the pad. Bounce backdoor. What a save, Allen! McDavid threaded it through to Zach Hyman, and Jake Allen continues to hold sway for the visitors.
Yeah, explosive move by McDavid out of the corner to find Bouchard, the blue line. Once he shoots this puck, you're going to see the rebound come popping out. And it's a beautiful pass over to Hyman. Again, he one-times this one. This isn't one that he holds on to. This is the one that he gets away in a hurry. Onto the tape, and Allen takes that one away.
Allen has had a terrific third period. Siegenthaler does not get it cleared through Nugent Hopkins. Allen to Donoff. McDavid able to hang on to it. Bouchard trying to plow his way through glass. Here's Hyman. Checked by Pesce. McDavid. Pesce, a shutdown guy, forced out Ekholm, and that will tick off the plexi on its way off the surface. Face-off will remain in the New Jersey zone.
Well, this is the response you like to see from Edmonton in this third period, down by a goal coming into it, and took a little time to get going, but once they've got going here, I think the count is 6 really good chances in this third period already, and Jake Allen's been up to the task. Zach Hyman's had a few himself, and where is he typically going around the net? Right through the blue paint, tries to put this one the backhand side, gets rolled over for his opportunity, rings the bar on that chance, and then we just saw the last one. Nice pass by Nugent Hopkins onto the tape. The one-timer denied by Allen, who read that well.
One-timer Wallman and a painful block delivered by Andre Palat. Wallman tries to shimmy his way through Palat, a long-time member of the Tampa Bay Lightning. He's going to try to get a change. Nurse trying to catch the Devils in it. Forces ahead for Janmark. Lots of time for Frederick. That puck stayed in the zone. Nurse did yeoman's work to keep it there. Frederick to Janmark. Tucked back toward Frederick and broken up by Hughes and Brack. They've been held in check. Remember, it's New Jersey's 4th line that counts for the 2-1 lead right now. Jack Hughes shovels ahead. Timo Meier threw it around the boards. Hughes double teamed it. He got drilled by Nurse. Absolutely steamrolled. And then a big hit by Nurse on Meier. Well, those are your hits of the game. Hughes to Siegenthaler. Open is Hamilton. Siegenthaler, a brief bobble. Sent it back down low. Wallman wrapped up, but Nurse with ample time to move it to Podkolzin. And sent in by Janmark. Nurse, a one-man cycle buster that time. Siegenthaler to Gritzy. Gets it in deep. 9.5 to go. Louis, we've been here before in terms of watching Edmonton push its way back into the game. But do they have enough time? Quiet second period. Determined effort here in the third. Devils still without a shot nearly 11 minutes into the frame.
That's the key. They have to keep them off the board here and continue to defend the way they are. They do have a lot of time to get one goal for this team. But it's a matter of doing it the right way. Can't give the New Jersey Devils the next one.
Up the right-hand side, Brown to Hischier. Squeezes his way through Ekholm. Burrows down low, but can't do anything in terms of creating a potential chance for block. So now it's McDavid the other way to the net. McDavid drags it across and can't finish. Allen stayed with him. McDavid back on the puck. Bouchard is open. Looking for a lane. Now shot it. Blocked by Palat. Hyman crowding Jake Allen down low. Dougie Hamilton came over. McDavid wins a battle. On the puck though, Pesce, and a clear by Palat. Brown pressure up ice on Ekholm. Return to McDavid. He'll drive to the middle. Drop it off. Bouchard shot tipped. And the rebound eluded Nugent Hopkins. It was open. Nemitz will take an icing call with McDavid flying toward him.
And Edmonton needs to hurry up and get to this faceoff down. A tired bunch on the ice for the Devils. A few of them. Some got off on the change. Here's a nice move by McDavid. Stick handling again through a lot of sticks and skates. And then Zach Hyman right in front gets a good tip on this one. Just bounces through Ryan Nugent-Hopkins on the far side on a nice shot by Evan Bouchard, who gets it through.
This is starting to look a little bit like the Islander game in the sense of a furious push. Off the draw, wide open Wallman. Loading up, no shot. Devils had it packed in. Nurse through traffic. Double deflection. Lazar kept it alive. Mangiapane. And out of the pack comes Dawson Mercer. He'll hoist one high in the air. Bounces at Wallman's feet. And now taken by Mangiapane. Lazar gives it back to him. Mangiapane. Drop pass. Fires a save by Jake Allen. Shots are 10-0 in this third period for Edmonton. But Colson whips it around the board. 7:20 left in regulation. Shot Wallman. And a blocker save made by Allen. Rebound to Dono.
Sorry, Jack. That puck gets back to the blue line. Have to have someone in front of Allen. I mean, Wallman gets this puck and he looks up and he gets it on net, but there's nobody there. Getting his eyes.
Cotter able to lodge the puck along the end boards for a moment. Lazar, as we go inside, 7 minutes to play. The Devils trying to hang on and get this second of a back-to-back. A much-needed victory for the Devils. Should they secure it, they're 5 points out of a playoff spot. Pesce, pursued by Howard, up the right-hand side. Jesper Bratt, he's got Jack Hughes with him. But Frederick reeled him in brilliantly and completely canceled out Bratt.
Not easy to do. He's fast.
Janmark up the left-hand side. Spinning. Janmark in front. Broken up by Siegenthaler. Intended target was Frederick. Meyer doesn't get out. Hard drive taken by Stastny. Siegenthaler up the left-hand side. Jack Hughes couldn't handle it cleanly. Stastny worked it through heavy traffic in the neutral zone. Dillon will just calmly dump it in. 6 minutes to play. Devils have led 2-1, all the goals in a 3-minute span in the second period. Here's McDavid challenging. A hit by Dillon. Forced out wide, centering pass intercepted by Palat. 3-on-2 New Jersey. Hischier to Mercer. Circling, and he lost it off the toe of his stick. Mercer trying to stay with it. Jousting forward is Bouchard. McDavid recovers. Hyman middle of the ice. Drop pass Nugent Hopkins. Saucer back Bouchard. Ekholm open. No shot. Bouchard thinks. Dishes. And a high slot tip. Ends up being deflected. Mercer will reverse for Dillon. And then it was smacked out by Nugent Hopkins. Devils wanted to play with a high stick. They didn't get the call. Doesn't matter. Hischier able to backhand it in deep. And now we're coming up on 5 minutes left to play.
They're rolling right now. The D-to-D is working well for Edmonton. Once it goes to the wall and back to the middle, seems to be some light of day to get that shot through.
In transition, Connor Brown shoots and a glove save made by Tristan Jarry. That's the first shot of the period. 15 minutes in.
Not an easy one either.
After 11 uninterrupted by Edmonton. Jake Wallman. Devils needed that. Again, they've been having trouble scoring all year. Spooned by Allen up on the glass. Stayed in. To Colson. Behind that, pursued by Pesce. Here's the drive, and then grazed the pads of Allen. Up to Connor Brown. Pesce gives it back to Brown. You know he wants a sweep against his former teammates. Devils won 5-3 back in October. Dillon thinks better of trying to pinch down with Jack Hughes pressing Roslovic. Smart play to the middle. Nurse to Matt Savoy. The only man with a goal tonight. Nurse backhands in front and taken away. Meyer, did he get it cleared? No, it stayed in. For now, Meyer. Second opportunity, knifes it successfully through the neutral zone. Less than 4 minutes to play. Turned over by Frederick. Jack Hughes, that came outside. He's got a tag back up. Recognizes as such. Emberson to Stastny. Isaac Howard, and it's an offside. Whistled against Edmonton with 3 minutes, 40 seconds remaining in the third period. The Oilers had outshot the Devils 11-0 until this bid from Connor Brown.
Recording.
Tonight's hit of the game brought to you by James H. Brown Accident Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters in injury law.
Edmonton has started to pick up the hitting here in this third period, but early on the chip in charge. This set a really good sequence for Edmonton together as Zach Hyman, hard hit on Siegenthaler, separates man from puck. Second man in is Podkolzin, sets up a really good chance. And Edmonton's done a lot more of that here in the third period. Zach Hyman has been around it as he has been. 17 goals in his last 20 games. The hottest man in the NHL. Looking to try and tie it up.
Still a fair bit of time. But the Oilers down 2-1, despite out shooting the Devils 11-1 here in the third. For a neutral zone draw, they've got Nugent Hopkins, Hyman, and McDavid on with Ekholm and Bouchard. And you know they'll try to get them a second shift for the final minute 20. Off the draw, McDavid pries it loose for Ekholm. Hard rim around the boards. Nugent Hopkins digs in. Siegenthaler able to launch, and that was batted down by Hischier, so it has to be reset by Bouchard. We'll also keep an eye on Tristan Jarry, though I don't expect him to come off here. Nugent Hopkins shoots it in. Allen hard up the plexi. Bouchard settles it down inside the blue line for McDavid. Hischier on him. Makes a move. Locates Bouchard. Using a screen from Ekholm. Sends it into the corner. Siegenthaler thought a stick was held. Mercer came over. Siegenthaler and Hyman with Pesce in the mix, trying to keep that cycle disrupted along the end boards. Digging in now is McDavid. Hyman hard up the wall. No one's there. Hischier to center. Got tripped up. He's saying he was tripped. The ref's going to say, I believe he stepped on the puck.
Yeah, I didn't think it was a stick in there on first look right in front of me. I was kind of backing up a little bit, but it was odd the way Hischier went down. Was it the stick? We're hearing it was the stick.
Here's Podkolzin. Swooping. Centering. One-timer rifled wide by Savoy. Looked like he got it on the heel of his stick. Here's an opportunity for Bratt to clear, which he does for Hughes. Got through Podkolzin. Charges in, then butt hooks. Sent it across. Open as Hamilton. Shoots. And a block shot. I believe Nurse got it. Rebound came in front. Turning and Hughes fan. Kept alive. Quick shot, Meyer. Jarry the save, and he'll freeze it with a minute 54 to play.
Play Safeway My NHL Picks weekly for your chance to score all season long. You could even win an NHL getaway for you and your family. Download the Safeway app to start playing today.
Here's a chance by Matt Savoy. Nice drive by Podkolzin. Finds him in that little sweet spot and just can't get this one to go on net. A little bit wide. Good presence in front by Frederick as well. Face off to the left of Jarry.
McDavid beaten off the draw by Cody Glass. So the Devils' fourth liners who've earned them this 2-1 lead are out there to protect the lead with 100 seconds to go. And now Edmonton, as they advance through the neutral zone, you'll see Jarry come to the bench. Ekholm gives it back to McDavid with a minute 32 to play. Jarry to the bench. Extra attacker on. 6-on-5. Devils lead at 2-1. Bouchard loading, firing, and that stayed out on a screened Allen. Rebound, Nugent Hopkins. Pesce draped all over him. Behind the net, you've got Jack Roslovic. Dishing off to Ekholm. Across to Bouchard. One touch on to McDavid. Glass on him. Watch closely by Brown as well. Nugent Hopkins in front off the stick of Allen. 1 minute, 5 seconds to play. Ekholm to Bouchard. Final minute regulation. Down the stretch at Rogers Place. It's Ekholm. McDavid cross. Roslovic shoots wide. Rebound hard off the glass. Ekholm under pressure. Gives it up to McDavid. Looking in front off the pads of Allen. Rebound. Great shake. Can't get it out. Bouchard will step up. Battling. Unable to nudge it out. Connor Brown. Center pass in front off the pads of Allen. Devils desperately can't get it clear. Nugent Hopkins behind the net. It's McDavid. Charging. Centering. Nugent Hopkins. Pesce on him. Rolled free. Connor Brown turns and flicks it down the ice. Edmonton will take a timeout after the icing call with 20 seconds to play. Down one.
great possession in the offensive zone in this whole sequence. I mean, the Devils are just pushing, trying to come up with any loose puck. And they still have the ability to make plays like this under pressure. This one goes across Hyman, just can't redirect that one on net. He's under coverage, but it's a recovery once again by Nugent Hopkins. And that one off the skate of Hyman. He has so many of those that deflect towards the net. That one deflected away. A quick face-off here.
They're not taking a timeout here. Face-off, one for Glass. The Devils are going to try to eat it in the corner. They can't. McDavid tipped it back to Ekholm. A shot, a save, a rebound. Roslovic, shot block. 7 seconds. Devils can't get it. Roslovic in front. Ekholm a drive. Rebound eluded McDavid. He's checked by Glass. Centering pass off skates. Devils are going to hang on and win the hockey game 2-1. New Jersey wins both ends of the back-to-back in Alberta by identical 2-1 scores last night against Calgary in overtime, and tonight behind a heroic third-period effort from Jake Allen. And how about the fourth line, Louis? They score the two.
There, your alarm's set for tomorrow at 6:30 a.m.
For them.
You got it. Your alarm's set for tomorrow at 6 a.m.
As the Oilers continued to push and had some great chances on net. This one, I don't think Allen has a clue where this is. And it's Siegenthaler that takes that one away off the stick of Roslovic, and then he makes a beauty pass to the slot for Ekholm. They tried everything through the kitchen sink at Jake Allen, but he was up to the task in a 2-1 win for the New Jersey Devils.
Edmonton outshoots New Jersey 12-3 in the final 20